Hello and welcome. I'm William Intriligator, Music Director and Conductor of the Cheyenne Symphony Orchestra, and welcome to another installment of our virtual Virtuoso series, an online way that we can stay in touch with our patrons and friends of the Cheyenne Symphony Orchestra, a way to share some music with you, and a way to get to know our musicians from the Cheyenne Symphony Orchestra better. Joining me today is our wonderful principal flute player, Ysmael Reyes. Welcome, Ysmael.
Hello, my pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me today.
Oh, it's great to have you. You know, you are such a wonderful, huge part of the Cheyenne Symphony Orchestra. We're very lucky to have such an outstanding principal flute player such as yourself. And as you know, and our patrons know, we've enjoyed featuring you in concertos over the years. And it's such a thrill to be welcomed into your home today. And so tell us just a little bit briefly, for those who don't know a lot about your background, where are you from? When did you start playing the flute?
Yes, I am from Venezuela. This is like the northernmost country in South America. If you don't, if not like aware where it is, it's right on the Caribbean, and my hometown is right there on the beach. So I was like little when I was little. I grew up like 5 minutes from the beach, and I started playing the flute when I was 11 years old. Mostly because my dad is a musician too. He's a Latin percussionist, and I've always been around music. I actually don't remember not being around instruments and music and band rehearsals. So that's how I started. I started at a youth symphony orchestra in my hometown.
And was that part of the famous El Sistema program in Venezuela?
Yes, it is. Like pretty much every youth symphony in Venezuela, or like, yeah, most of the symphony orchestras are part of that system. Yeah.
So did your siblings also play music? Was your whole family very musical?
No, not really. My brother played, and he sometimes played a little bit of drum sets, but he's an artist. Like all this artwork he actually painted it.
Really? Those are fantastic. Wow. That's amazing.
He dedicated life to art, but he does play sometimes. You know, he's had like bands. He plays the drum set. He's a percussionist like my dad.
Yeah. So was there anything special, do you think, that drew you to the flute, or were there any other instruments that you played along the way when you were younger?
No, well, actually, originally not the flute. I wanted, the music I was most exposed to was Latin music. I just wanted to do what my dad did. So I first was drawn to the guitar and the saxophone, because I have an uncle, my dad's brother, who is a professional jazz sax player.
Oh, really?
And so I wanted to play those instruments, but I went to the only place where you could get musical instruction in my hometown was the orchestra. So I went there to sign up for lessons, and I said, "Oh, I want to play either guitar or sax." And I said, "Well, we don't have that here, so why don't you start with the flute and then switch to the sax later on?" But once I got the flute, I loved it. I never switched, so I immediately fell in love with it. So
you really found your true voice with the flute. I mean, you really are so expressive and musical. It's always such a pleasure to hear you. So, and when you fast forward, you came to this country. I believe you came for part of your musical studies, and now you're living in the Front Range. Tell us a little bit about where you live and what are other organizations in addition to the Cheyenne Symphony Orchestra that you are participating in.
Yes, I live now in Longmont, Colorado. This is about I'm not good with distance, but it's about 45 minutes from north of Denver. And I play with I subbed with the Fort Collins Symphony, Greeley Philharmonic, Boulder Philharmonic, and I'm also part of the Colorado Bach Ensemble, the Boulder Bach Festival, and I play with the Bach Society in Houston too.
Fantastic. And then you have a lot of teaching that you're doing. Tell us about that.
Yes, I have a pretty large private studio, and I teach at Regis University. It's a Jesuit university in Denver. And I really enjoy teaching. I've been teaching since I was 17 years old.
Yeah.
But I had to lie about my age so I could get the job. I was supposed to be 18. So, but yeah, I like teaching. It's like I learned a lot from just like the process when you're trying to solve problems with the students. It's something that I really enjoy. It's part of my life.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
So I know you still have family in Venezuela. I was going to ask you just briefly, what's the situation with COVID-19 down there, and is your family safe and healthy?
Yeah, my family is doing well. Actually, they have been able to keep it pretty well under control. The measures compared to what they are here in the United States are pretty extreme, but they have been very effective. Like in my hometown, which is a town of like probably 300,000 people, hasn't been a single case. I think there's been like 2 cases in the entire state, and the numbers are pretty low.
Okay.
I mean, this is a good thing. The measures have been like pretty strict and pretty stringent, but they're working so far. I'm kind of glad for that because my parents are both in their 70s and they're healthy, but you know, it's a vicious
Yeah.
disease for people of that age, and they're doing fine. I talk to them like pretty much like every other day, and they're doing okay. Like,
Oh, good. I'm glad.
so.
And it seems like you're doing very well, and I'm very happy to see you're smiling. And you were telling me that you're continuing with your teaching, and for Regis University, it was just finishing up. And so you and your family are healthy and you're doing well. It seems like this hasn't been too hard on you. I'm sure it's been hard. And
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been hard for everybody. Like everybody's lives have like been affected one way or another. But I'm very fortunate. Like I was able to keep teaching online. And here in Longmont, there have been very few cases only. We have a lot of trails and like open space, so we can still get out and actually not run into any. I went this morning for a run, a trail run, and I ran into 2 people in like 2 hours. So it's like it's easy to get out and kind of like stay sane and you know be in nature. And so it's like yeah, I feel pretty fortunate about my situation.
that's great. Tell us a little bit about the pieces you're going to play for us tonight.
Yes, I'm very excited. Actually, these are all pieces that I really love playing, and I really like solo flute music. I don't know. I feel there's something special about the control you have about everything that you're doing, the pacing and the tone that you want to make. It's not depending on other instruments or balance. So I really like that freedom. So I'll be playing a fantasy number 8 in E minor by Telemann. And this is the 12 Fantasies by Telemann is a pretty major work for flute, for solo flute. He wrote them. Well, the first edition was published in 1727, 28. So probably it was written right before, you know, one of those years. And it's a very comprehensive set of like everything you could do on a Baroque flute. comprised of shorter movements. They're kind of like preludes. You have different sections. Some of them are kind of like an improvised feel. Lots of dances, lots of like fugal movements, even though it's it's like you're not making any harmonies on the flute, but you kind of get that feel, and you'll hear that in the opening of the one I'll be playing. You have kind of like a bass line and another line that's moving above it. So he did that masterfully. The next piece I'll play is Syrinx by Claude Debussy. Like, one of the all-time favorites for flutists, and like it's a very, very popular piece, but it's really beautiful, very free, very open, possibility for like lots of colors and different tone qualities. And it's a major, major piece in the flute repertoire because it was the first major work for solo flute that was written for the band flute, for this flute, which stayed pretty much unchanged since about 1847, 48 is what when Theobald Band came up with this system, and nobody kind of like trusted the instrument very much. So Debussy with Prelude of the Afternoon of the Faun and then with Syrinx kind of like explore like tonal possibilities of the instrument, and that was like why that piece became such a big work in the flute literature.
He really allows the sensual quality of the flute to come out in the Syrinx as well as in the Prelude to the Afternoon of the Faun. Yeah.
Absolutely. And the third piece I'll be playing is a transcription of Paganini Caprice number 11 in C major. And these are pieces that, they're not written originally for flute, but they have become very important for me personally in my development, just because of the technical challenges. And I feel they're very expressive pieces, like full of passion and full of like, I don't know, pizzazz and lots of notes. And I feel like it fits my playing well. And also when I was studying my teacher, actually, my first teacher when I moved to the capital to study at the National Conservatory, he pushed that repertoire a lot. When I was studying with him, I was very introverted and I was very shy in my playing. He said, "No, you gotta play this. You have to like go out and show off." And so these pieces, like all of them, I practiced or studied or perform all of them, and they kind of like help me like open up. So they're like they have a like very special place in the music I play. So whenever I get a chance, I try to play them.
That's great. We love to hear music that really has a special personal meaning to the performer playing it. And you've picked three pieces from three completely different time periods and styles, and I'm very excited to hear it. Just before we get started, is there anything you want to tell us about your flute itself? I think you were telling me there's some kind of big news in your life with your flute.
It's a new instrument I got a few months ago, and actually I wasn't expecting to buy it at all. I have an advanced student who had this instrument, and she got a new flute, a very nice flute, a Brandon Cooper, which is the same brand of the other my flute, like long time flute that I've had since 2005 or something. Like I've played that flute for like 15 years or so, and I wasn't expecting to try this flute, and then I tried it one day, and I really loved it, like right away. And like I said, I had no expectation to get a new instrument. And she said, "Well, we can trade it for lessons. I'll give you the flute." And it was a deal that I couldn't refuse, and I really like the instrument. It's a Miyazawa. It's a Japanese.
Yeah, I've heard great things about those Japanese, that brand. Yeah.
Really, really great instruments. Actually, it's very interesting that when I moved to the United States, my teacher here is a Miyazawa artist. And he was oh, you should get a Miyazawa, you should get a Miyazawa. And I felt like that time I couldn't afford it, and they had an instrument that I liked, and it's like very interesting that I ended up with one, and I am really loving it. It's I don't know. I think the combination of the gold head joint and it's like a heavier tubing, and it has a higher content of silver in the alloy in the tube.
Sure.
So it's very open, and it allows me to do like many more like different colors and tone qualities. So I'm really enjoying the time playing it. So
I
I'm
can't
still
wait to hear you play it. I guess we should go into the music, huh?
absolutely.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Ismael. So we're going to hear the Fantasy by Telemann, Syrinx by Debussy, and then the 11th Caprice by Paganini.
Yeah,
It's so exciting. Thank you, Ismael.
absolutely.
Bravo, Ismael. That was so beautiful. You really are a virtuoso. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it. I really appreciate the opportunity and the space to like perform. Like it's not very common now, like that we get the opportunity. So it's wonderful, and I really want to thank the orchestra. I've really had a great time for the past 13 years or so. Yeah. So yeah.
You've been such a highlight for all of us in the Cheyenne Symphony Orchestra and the orchestra as well as in the audience. And we're very lucky to have you as our principal flute player. And I look forward to featuring you for many years to come. And, can't wait to get back to making music with you in person and the rest of the musicians at our concerts whenever those can be.
Yes, and likewise, I'm really looking forward to be able to like be in the middle of the stage again, playing, and I wish everybody to like just like stay safe,
Yeah.
and try to do your best to minimize the risks and just like you know try to enjoy the opportunities that you have right now and make the best of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. On behalf of all of us at the Cheyenne Symphony Orchestra, thank you for tuning in to our virtual Virtuoso series. We'll continue this again next Tuesday night. And thank you again to Ysmael Reyes and all of you who are supporting the symphony. We can't wait to make music for you again in the near future. Good night.
Night.